Let's begin this dialogue with some nice Nicaraguan Monte Cristo cigar smoke. A wonderful thing to have, especially after a fine meal. And we are Two Hands in the Face Audio. We're very pleased that you've tuned in to see this segment. We're very grateful. A little about us. My partner Troy and I are old workhorse bar musicians. That's our thing. That's what we do. It's what we have done. And now we like to put up these videos and study interesting musical product and bring our findings to you, our beloved viewers. So cheers to you. A little bit of good Blanton's bourbon there. I shouldn't be dropping these brand names, but I am. It's the good life. Even some Jones cream soda to chase the bourbon with. So on this occasion, we're having a look at what is probably the most famous distortion pedal of all, I think. Definitely one of the most successful in the history of distortion pedals, and that is the very famous Ibanez Tube Screamer. This pedal goes back decades, and in my memory, it's the first compact stomp box distortion pedal that really addressed the idea of mimicking tube dynamics with its solid state circuitry. So let's demo our clean sound here. Nothing too dramatic, a nice clean bridge pickup sound from my beautiful red Charbel. And let's dig right in. Let's see what the Ibanez Tube Screamer can do for this sound. So we've got it set at about 20% of its capacity with distortion. And let's kick it on and see what it does. Okay. That's a pleasant breakup. It's kind of a low level distortion breakup, kind of a good rhythm sound. It's a good rhythm guitar sound, kind of an arena rock sound. It does not have the typical brittleness and fuzziness of most distortion boxes, especially the ones that were out in that day. I mean, let's go back 40 years and they were mostly brittle sounding devices. They kind of sounded like toys. They didn't give you much in the way of touch sensitivity. This one does a little bit. Kind of a cool blues sound. So let's ramp it up a little bit. Let's take the distortion up to, let's say, halfway. And see what it does for us. I'm going to turn up its level control. This device has a drive control, which is the amount of gain that it's introducing to the signal. A level control, which is its own private volume control, the level output signal. It's got a tone control that is essentially a high-pass filter. You can make the sound brighter or a little bit duller with the tone control. And then it's got a mode control. It's a very interesting device in that respect. It has 4 different modes, and I'll demonstrate that shortly. But for the moment, let's see where we get with raising the distortion from under a fifth of its capacity to about halfway. We're getting some very nice overtones there, some good breakup. Like I say, it's not a fuzzy or a fizzy sounding or a brittle sounding pedal. It's got a lot of warmth to it. It's got some teeth to it. I like that. Let's put our neck position pickup in and see what we get. Interesting overtones. I tell you what, let's do. Let's go ahead and drive the gain control, or what they call drive, up to better than 3/4 of its capacity. We're going to run it almost at tilt and see what we get out of this thing. interesting. It's definitely not what you'd call a shredding device, but it does have, in its context, kind of a tubey character. It delivers the goods. So let's check out the mode control. I'm going to back off of the drive control a little bit, and let's check out what we get. Okay, we're in the first mode. We're going to move to the second mode. So what it seems to have done is boosted our lower mids a little bit, given it a little more bottom end. Let's go up to the next mode. And I think we're going to find that it boosts the lower part of the frequency spectrum a little more with each advancement of mode. Definitely more low end. So that's what the mode switch is about. As you go, it's adding more boost to the low end part of the spectrum. It's a really nice sound. I'm enjoying it. I'm using the amplification at a room volume, a lower room volume, so that I can talk over it. But were the volume a skosh louder, we'd be deep, eyeball deep in some feedback tones right now. So let's go to the last mode from here. Pegging the poor little meter on my DAW here, but we definitely hear the incremental increase of lower mid and low end response and gain coming from this pedal. So it's kind of contouring your frequency response here. It's kind of like an EQ control with an emphasis on lower mid and low. So I'm going to return it back to its standard position, and for me, this would be more of the ideal place to keep it. And so it does what it does. It's kind of a tubey effect, again, in context, within the context of a solid state, very compact pedal. The controls give it a pretty good amount of versatility. Again, it has the high pass filter style tone control, so you can really brighten the sound, or you can considerably dull out the sound, as you can hear. So let's look at it as a very unique pedal in its own right. It's got those kind of tubey characteristics. It's got a lot of drive to offer. It's not a shred mobile, but it definitely gets you there. And it has that mode control that slams the low end and the lower mid and kind of gets you where you need to be there. And of course, it has the versatility of its own level or output volume control. So that is a wrap on the Ibanez Tube Screamer. It does what it does, and it does it well. So if you're after that kind of interim level distortion, kind of arena rock sound, it's a great bet. So definitely get to your Ibanez dealer. A lot of you I know already have one of these, and if you have something specific to share with us about this pedal, we'd love to hear from you. And what we'd also love to do is get you to hit subscribe and join us again, because we would really love to see you. And here's to you, and thank you for tuning in with us this evening. Peace.